Prologue. The Whispering Sands. The Oasis of Eternal Shadows was not a place, but a breath, a gasp between life and death. For generations, the Dry family had tended its shifting dunes, where palm trees bent like skeletal fingers and water mirrored the starless void of the spirit world. Helena learned to walk on sand that burned by day and froze by night, her feet leaving no trace. Her mother, Leora, taught her the first rule: balance is not peace. It is the blade's edge between hunger and surrender. When the time crystal shattered, the oasis began to bleed. Spirits clawed through the veil, their wails twisting the air. The Dry elders blamed the syndicate, but Helena saw deeper. The crystal's 3 fragments pulsed with their own will, each guarded by forces older than greed. Sent to Metropolis Axe, she carried her mother's staff, the Desert Dreamstaff, and a warning etched in her bones: trust no one, not even the sand. Chapter 1. Stormborn. The fractured city Metropolis X did not welcome her. It choked on its own steel, its skies stained with factory smoke. Helena arrived as a sandstorm did, a screaming tempest that scoured paint from walls and scents from mines. Mobs huddled in doorways cursing the desert witch, but one man watched from a rooftop, Dominic, his coat flapping like a raven's wing. She found the first shard, the Tide stone, in a dockyard warehouse. Arthur Waterhill held it aloft, its blue light glinting off his trident. Their clash was silent but vicious. Helena. This stone is a wound. Give it back, Arthur, and let the syndicate's poisons drown us all. The staff hummed in her grip. For a heartbeat, she saw his truth, a city gasping, a hound's corpse, sinking into murk. She withdrew, but not before whispering a spell that made the Tide stone flare, searing his palm. Chapter 2. Dragon's Bargain. Fire and ink, Dominic's fortress loomed like a rusted crown. Helena climbed its stairs, her braids heavy with sand crystals. Songwida, the dragon bound to Dominic's bloodline, uncoiled from shadows, his scales ink-black and eyes like molten gold. Child of 2 dawns, he rumbled, you taste of the oasis and ash. The fire heart, the second shard, lay deep in the burning stone caves, a labyrinth where magma rivers sang lullabies. But Songwida's price was the dragon seal, stolen by the syndicate to leash water spirits. Helena agreed, though her stomach twisted. In the syndicate's underground vault, they found the seal fused to a machine that pulsed like a heart, its tubes siphoning ghostly blue essence. Arthur's water demons. Dominic. Break it. Now. Helena hesitated. The machine's magic was a mirror to her own, a bridge between worlds. But Songwida's claw shattered it, and the seal's roar shook the earth. Chapter 3. The Dagger of Truth. Shadows and Waves. Arthur cornered them in the caves, his trident crackling. You're helping him steal power, he snarled, mistaking the fire heart for a weapon. Helena stood between them, the staff splitting her vision. Arthur in the living world, amber eyes wild. Arthur in the spirit world, violet aura fraying like torn cloth. Helena. The crystal isn't a tool, it's a lock. The Abyssal Tide. It's coming. For all of us. His rage faltered. She showed him the truth. A vision of the abyss. A maw of drowned cities and screaming currents. Arthur's voice broke. How do we stop it? Together, she said, though the word tasted bitter. Chapter 4. The Spirit World. Chains of Time. The third shard, the Shadow Stone, lay in the spirit world, a realm where clocks bled rust and memories hung like cobwebs. Helena stepped through a portal, her body flickering. Here, her eyes burned violet, and her shadow walked ahead of her. Utulon awaited, his form a shifting mass of algae and bone. "Merge the shards," he crooned, "and I will make you a queen of tides and time." His voice echoed her mother's. The staff trembled, but she spat. "I've met enough false gods." His curse struck like a viper. In the living world, Arthur screamed as Nerthus's spirit rose, a mangled, snarling wraith. Helena wept but did not turn back. Chapter 5. Aeon's Choice, the Price of Balance. The reunited crystal blazed in Helena's hands, its light birthing Aeon, a being of stardust and sorrow. "You are the last keeper," Aeon intoned. "Choose, destroy the crystal and seal the abyss, or wield it and risk becoming its slave." In the oasis, her mother's ghost whispered, "Balance requires sacrifice." Helena smashed the crystal. The shards dissolved, and Aeon screamed, a sound that shattered windows across Metropolis. "Aeon, you have delayed the storm, not stopped it. The worlds will bleed into one, and war will drown your fragile peace." Chapter 6. The Veil of Memories. Ghosts of the Oasis, Helena returns to the Oasis of Eternal Shadows, now a skeletal ruin. The mirrors lining its perimeter, once gateways to ancestral memories, are shattered, their shards reflecting fractured glimpses of the past. Among them, she finds her mother's journal, hidden beneath a stone etched with the Dry family crest. The pages reveal a devastating truth. Leora had once merged with the time crystal to stop a previous Abyssal Tide, but the act corrupted her, forcing the elders to erase her memories. Flashback. Young Helena watches her mother kneel at the oasis's heart, the crystal glowing in her hands. Leora's skin cracks like desert soil as she chants, "For balance, I become the storm." The vision ends with Leora collapsing, the crystal shattering, and the elders dragging her away. Present, a spectral Leora appears, her voice a rasp. "The crystal is a parasite. It feeds on keepers. You are not its savior. You are its next vessel." Helena burns the journal, but the words sear her soul. Consequence. Gale, the syndicate defector, resurfaces, alive but altered, his body fused with spirit world essence. He warns Helena that the syndicate has infiltrated the Water Association, seeking to exploit Arthur's Tide Stone. Their reunion is tender, yet fraught. Gale's eyes now glow violet, and he hides a dagger coated in abyssal poison. Chapter 7. The Abyssal Parliament. Whispers in the dark. A rift opens above Metropolis X, spewing spectral rain that turns metal to rust and whispers to screams. Helena enters the spirit world to confront the emerging Abyssal Parliament, a council of entities who claim dominion over the crumbling veil. The Parliament, the Weaver, a skeletal figure spinning threads of time, demanding Helena repay the debt of Aeon's destruction. The drowned matriarch, Utulon's consort, her voice a tidal roar. "Your city will be my husband's tomb, or his throne." The Ember Child, a fiery spirit resembling Helena as a girl, offering a pact. "Burn the dragon's seal, and I'll seal the rifts." Negotiation. Helena bargains with the Weaver, trading a lock of her hair, imbued with oasis magic, for a temporary stabilizer, an hourglass filled with black sand. But the drowned matriarch sabotages the deal, cursing the hourglass to accelerate time in random zones across Metropolis. Buildings age centuries in minutes, flowers bloom and die in seconds. Fallout. Dominic accuses Helena of recklessness. Songwida, however, detects the Ember Child's influence in the curse. "Fire lies," he growls. "It hungers for the seal." Chapter 8. The Shattered Mirror. A keeper divided. To stabilize the hourglass, Helena performs a forbidden ritual. She splits herself into two entities, one anchored in the living world, the other trapped in the spirit world. The living Helena, amber-eyed, brittle with exhaustion, works with Arthur to slow the time zones, while spirit Helena, violet-eyed, ruthless, infiltrates the Abyssal Parliament. Living world. Arthur and Helena navigate a district frozen in time, its resident statues of ash. The Tidestone reacts violently to the hourglass, creating a vortex that nearly swallows them. Arthur saves Helena, but his trident cracks. "We're running out of miracles," he mutters. Spirit world. Spirit Helena confronts the drowned matriarch in her throne room, a cathedral of coral and drowned ships. She forges a temporary alliance with Utulon, who reveals the Syndicate's endgame. They seek to weaponize the abyss, to drown both worlds and rule the wreckage. Reunion. The two Helenas merge, but the ritual leaves her marked. Her left hand ages rapidly. Her right hand flickers in and out of existence. Gale kisses her decaying fingers, his tears sizzling against her skin. "You're breaking," he whispers. "Let me carry the burden." She refuses, but steals his dagger. Chapter 9. The Covenant of Dawn. Sparks of rebellion. The hourglass shatters, its black sand birthing a colossal rift above Dominic's fortress. Helena rallies her fractured allies. Arthur repairs his trident with shards of the Tidestone, its power now laced with abyssal energy. Dominic and Songwida unleash the dragon seal's full might, igniting a pillar of flame to counter the rift. Gale sacrifices himself, plunging the abyssal dagger into the rift's heart. His body dissolves, but his spirit merges with the stabilizer, becoming a temporary patch over the void. The Covenant. In the rift's aftermath, Helena founds the Covenant of Dawn, a coalition of outcasts, defectors, and disillusioned syndicate members. Their creed: no gods, no chains, only balance. Twist. Evangeline, Arthur's hydrologist ally, joins the Covenant, but smuggles a vial of Gale's essence to her lab. The Abyss is a resource, she tells a shadowed figure, and resources are meant to be used. Epilogue. The Unwritten Horizon. The rift stabilizes, but Metropolis X is forever changed. Sections of the city exist in overlapping timelines. Cobblestone streets intersect with neon-lit alleys. Ghosts barter with the living. Helena stands atop Dominic's fortress, her staff now sprouting spirit world ivy.